Welcome to Mind Set in Stone podcasts, where we dive deep into the most compelling books on the shelf. Join hosts Dave and Poppy as they uncover the stories, themes, and ideas that shape our understanding and inspire curiosity. Get ready to explore the big ideas that leave a lasting impact. Let's get started.
Have you ever paused and truly considered that everything you perceive, everything you experience, might not just be happening to you, but is actually a reflection of your own inner world? What if your thoughts, your deepest beliefs, are literally shaping the very fabric of the reality you live in? Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we plunge into fascinating sources, articles, research, groundbreaking books, and pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight. Our mission is simple: to help you become well-informed, quickly and effectively, with surprising facts and hopefully just enough humor to keep you hooked. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into Pam Grout's profound and honestly incredibly practical book, E-Cubed: 9 More Energy Experiments That Prove Manifesting Magic and Miracles is Your Full-Time Gig. This isn't just theory, it's really hands-on manual. It builds on her earlier work, E-Squared. Right.
Exactly. It takes those ideas and really pushes them into application, moving beyond abstract concepts to emphasize real-world, testable things you can do.
So it's about putting these principles to work in your own life, testing them out.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating here is how Grout doesn't present this as mere philosophy or, wishful thinking. It's something you can actually verify through personal experimentation. She powerfully challenges what she terms worldview 1.0, that prevalent belief that life just happens to us, often driven by a sense of limitation, fear, and circumstance. We've all felt that, right?
Oh, for sure. The default setting almost.
Right. Instead, she introduces Worldview 2.0, which posits that life actively emanates from us, guided by an energetic field of infinite potentiality. And the key, like you said, is that the book offers what she calls empirical science experiments, designed for you to prove these concepts in real time, right in your everyday existence.
Okay, so the foundational concept underlying all of this is that our perceptions and beliefs aren't just influencing our reality, they are quite literally the blueprint for it. It's not just a nice idea. Grout suggests it's the fundamental mechanism by which our lives unfold. Is that fair?
That's a perfect way to put it. Grout delves into this by explaining the concept of the quantum field, or what she often refers to as the field of infinite potentiality, the FP. Now, for those who might not be deep into theoretical physics, just imagine this quantum field as the fundamental fabric of reality itself, like a vast, unseen ocean of pure potentiality where everything exists as possibilities until it's observed or interacted with.
Okay, like pure potential.
Exactly. And Grout really brings this abstract concept down to a personal, actionable level. She suggests our thoughts aren't just random brain chatter, they act like radio signals.
Yeah.
They broadcast our beliefs and expectations out into this field, and what comes back?
Let me guess. What we broadcast.
An exact vibrational match, yes. This is closely tied to the observer effect in quantum physics, which is this fascinating concept where the very act of measurement or conscious observation itself can influence the outcome of, say, a subatomic event.
Right, I've heard of that.
Grout draws a powerful parallel, implying that our conscious attention acts like that observation, bringing potential into our manifest reality. So, if your thoughts are centered on joy, love, and peace, your life experience will tend to align with that. But if your consciousness is perpetually tuned to what she playfully calls radio station KFKD.
Soundtrack of pain and woe, as she puts it. Well, you can probably guess the kind of programming that will fill your days.
Right, so she's talking about actively changing the internal soundtrack, the one playing on radio station KFKD, that many of us are unfortunately tuned into. And here's where it gets really interesting and tangible. What if you could prove, to yourself, that your expectations directly impact what you see and therefore what you experience?
This is exactly what the red pill corollary aims to do. It powerfully contrasts the old paradigm, or the meme as she calls it, that life happens to me, with the liberating truth of Worldview 2.0, life emanates from me, seeing reality differently.
Exactly. Consciously perceiving reality without the pre-programmed scripts and limitations we often unconsciously adopt. You're actively expanding what you're willing to notice. The method for this experiment is actually quite fun. It's a scavenger hunt.
Tell me more.
Okay, so for a focused 72 hours, you're challenged to actively look for 8 specific, seemingly random things in your environment. These aren't meant to be, earth-shattering things, but rather specific and noticeable. A belly laugh, a toy from your childhood, your favorite song from high school,
Okay.
the number 222, a beach ball, a senior citizen in a fashionable hat, a smile from a baby, and a billboard with a message specifically for you.
Wow, that's quite a list.
And the point is to consciously seek these out, to literally train your brain to expand its filters beyond the usual.
The anecdotes Grout shares from this experiment are truly compelling and often quite funny. I remember reading about one reader who, after skeptically demanding to see something truly obscure, saw a pink truck with white polka dots within hours.
Get out. That's brilliant.
And there's another inspiring story about Sumunk Kid, the author of The Secret Life of Bees.
Oh, yes.
While she was at a prayer chapel, apparently she asked for a clear sign that she should write her novel, and a bee landed on her shoulder and just stayed there.
A clear, unmistakable signal.
Totally.
So what here is profound? These aren't just random coincidences that you finally happen to notice because you were looking. Grout presents them as evidence that, as she puts it, the universe is always waiting for us to simply pay attention. Your beliefs and expectations are actively drawing things from that field of potentiality into your conscious awareness. It's a powerful psychological principle at play, too. Our brains are wired to find what we focus on.
Right, like the reticular activating system, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Grout's genius here is in giving us this playful, structured framework to actively expand that focus beyond our usual, often quite limiting, filters.
That truly makes a lot of sense, especially when you think about how our brains filter information. Okay, so if our external reality is shaped by our internal one, does that mean something as fundamental as happiness is truly a choice we make, not just a reaction to stuff happening?
According to Grout, absolutely. She makes a really compelling case that without cultural training, joy is our natural state.
Our natural state.
Yes. But most of us, she argues, are trained from a very early age to put on a pair of gray-colored glasses. We essentially condition ourselves to expect problems and negativity. We learn to believe that external events happen and therefore we must feel bad. But Grout insists this is learned behavior, not our natural inclination or some unchangeable truth.
Okay, that's a big shift. This sets the stage then for the Boogie Woogie happiness ritual. Sounds fun already.
It is. It directly confronts that belief that events happen, therefore I feel bad. And it offers the liberating alternative. Worldview 2.0, joy is my natural state.
Yeah.
It's all about proactively cultivating that innate joy.
How do you do that? The Boogie Woogie part.
Well, the method is surprisingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. For 3 consecutive mornings, you dedicate just 5 minutes to consciously rewriting the script of your life. This involves immersing yourself in uplifting songs. Think Pharrell Williams' Happy, Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World, maybe James Brown's I Feel Good. You get the vibe.
Yeah, feel good music.
Definitely. And while the music is playing, you physically embody glee. Pump your fist in the air like a soccer player who just scored the winning goal, do a spontaneous Harlem shuffle on your way to the bathroom, or stretch your arms wide to salute the sun with genuine enthusiasm.
So getting the body involved.
Totally. The idea is to connect your body and mind in a joyful, intentional way.
And there's an intriguing extension to this called PDA for your mind, right? Public displays of affection for your mind.
Exactly. It's about committing to being profoundly grateful for everything that happens, even the minor inconveniences.
Everything, even like dropping the groceries. So if your mayonnaise jar falls out of the fridge and shatters, you literally say thank you. If you get a traffic citation, you find a way to say thanks. Maybe thank you for keeping me safe.
Wow, that takes practice.
It does. Grout recounts how she herself had a stellar day despite excruciating back pain simply by committing to finding joy in every single moment.
That's commitment.
And then there's the delightful story of someone finding 6 ducklings in their swimming pool as an unexpected gift just by maintaining this joyful, grateful perspective.
Ducklings. Okay, these are great stories.
They are. And these practices aren't just, feel-good activities. They are designed, as Grout explains, to physically rewire your neural pathways.
Like exercising a muscle. It takes consistent practice to change our default settings from life is hard or events dictate my mood to life is meant to be approached with exuberance and joy. You are quite literally training your brain to seek, find, and amplify happiness, shifting your inner vibration.
That's a profound shift in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So if our internal state is so impactful, what about how we communicate, both with ourselves and with others? Does what we say truly hold that much power?
Oh, absolutely. Grout makes it abundantly clear. Your words are wands that shape your life.
Wands, I like that.
Yeah. Our thoughts, and consequently the words we speak, are not just fleeting puffs of smoke. They are, as she puts it, insanely powerful, constantly broadcasting our beliefs and bringing vibrational matches back to us. What you habitually speak, you actively call forth into your experience.
Okay, this brings us to the If You Say So word power challenge. That title says a lot.
It does. It directly contrasts the common belief that what I say doesn't matter with the empowering truth of Worldview 2.0, I will bring abundance and joy into my life once I stop talking smack about it. It's about taking responsibility for our verbal creations.
So what's the challenge involved?
Well, this one's quite rigorous. For a full 72 hours, you must consciously refrain from complaining, gossiping, or criticizing.
72 hours, no complaining.
Will Bowen, a minister who popularized a similar complaint-free world challenge, was actually shocked to find it took him, get this, several months of consistent effort to achieve just 21 complaint-free days. It reveals how deeply ingrained negative commentary can be for many of us. Then there's the active part, making declarations. You are instructed to say out loud with genuine feeling, "Thank you for this fabulous day. I love E," and filling in the blanks with things you genuinely appreciate. She emphasizes that love itself emits a special frequency that can penetrate and transform even dark situations.
Love is a frequency. And a powerful extension of this is the opposite game. You identify a self-limiting statement you've often repeated, maybe, "My back's always hurting," or "I'm just not good on first dates," or even, "I'm getting old and fat and bald." And for 3 days, you actively declare its exact opposite out loud. Then you consciously look for evidence, any evidence, of that new reality manifesting in your life.
So you're stating the positive and looking for proof.
Exactly. You're programming your mind in the field.
There are some striking anecdotes that really drive this point home in the book. Joel Osteen shares the story of a high school friend who constantly predicted he'd become old and fat. And sure enough, 15 years later, he was precisely that.
Oh boy. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally. And on the flip side, Jose Lima, a baseball pitcher, publicly declared he'd never be able to pitch well in a new ballpark, and boom, his performance immediately plummeted in that specific stadium.
Wow, the power of declaration, negative or positive. And Pam Grout herself applied this, affirming repeatedly that she was stronger and younger looking. And she actually observed tangible evidence of that shift in her own appearance and energy levels.
The core message here is undeniably clear, and she says it plainly. Don't talk about the way you are, talk about the way you want to be.
Powerful.
Your words are not merely descriptions of reality. They are, according to Grout, creative acts that actively shape your future. It's about consciously choosing your language to build the reality you desire.
That's incredibly powerful when you consider how often we might speak ill of ourselves or our circumstances, maybe without even realizing it. But what about those deeper stories? The often unconscious ones we hold about ourselves, the ones we believe are absolute, unchangeable facts. How do we even begin to address those?
This is where the Simon Cowell corollary enters the picture.
Simon Cowell. Okay, I sense judgment involved.
Exactly. Aptly named for someone known for their judgments. The old meme or belief suggests, my job is to judge between right and wrong. We do this all the time, right?
Yeah, constantly evaluating.
But Worldview 2.0 asserts, nothing is absolute. Only my thinking makes it so. Grout argues that judging, especially judging ourselves or our circumstances as fixed and unchangeable, actually strangles our energy and cuts off possibilities.
It limits us.
Precisely. It's about letting go of the rigid idea that there's only one right answer or one fixed reality we're stuck with.
So what's the experiment here? How do we challenge these absolute facts?
Okay, for this experiment, over 3 days, you pick an old story or an absolute fact you deeply believe about yourself. Maybe it's, I'm not photogenic, or I'm just not a good public speaker, or I don't make enough money, or even something heavier like I could never leave my loveless relationship.
Okay, identifying the core limiting belief.
Yes. Then your challenge is to actively, consciously look for evidence of its exact opposite. You're essentially fact-checking your own limiting beliefs, looking for any scrap of evidence that contradicts the old story.
Hunting for counter evidence. I like that. One truly powerful anecdote Grout shares is about Michelle Longo O'Donnell's premature baby. The doctors gave a really grim prognosis, like no hope.
Oh, wow.
But her mother flatly refused to accept it, believed her baby was perfect and destined to thrive, and against all medical odds, the baby survived and flourished.
That's incredible, the power of unwavering belief.
It really is. And Pam Grout also recounted her own transformation. She used to believe she was a terrible public speaker, like genuinely terrified. But by changing that deeply ingrained internal story, by looking for evidence she could do it, she eventually embraced speaking engagements confidently.
So this experiment powerfully reinforces the idea that what we often consider facts about ourselves or our lives are frequently just, well, opinions, she says, holding down material reality until we can move beyond them.
We hold them in place with our belief.
Exactly. We are the ones, through our continuous belief and observation, holding those perceived facts in place. It's a profound invitation to question our deepest assumptions about what's possible.
It's astounding how these internal shifts can manifest in our outer world. What really stands out to you about how these principles can impact areas like our finances and our connections with others? Can changing our mindset truly change our bank account balance?
Oh, absolutely. And Grout tackles this head-on with your new BFF corollary. BFF standing for
Best friend forever.
you got it. But in this case, it's about making money your friend, not something to fear or resent. It dismantles numerous bald-faced lies we've often been told about money myths, like you have to have it to be happy or more of it is always better.
Like those common cultural messages.
Exactly. Instead, it aligns with Worldview 2.0. Money is nothing but energy and a reflection of my beliefs. Grout emphasizes that money is simply a tool, a form of energy, and your current financial situation is a direct reflection of your underlying beliefs and expectations about abundance or lack thereof.
So if you believe money is scarce and hard to get,
That's likely what you'll experience. She offers two really interesting complementary methods to shift your money consciousness.
okay, let's hear them.
The first is called Johnny Money Seed.
Like Johnny Appleseed.
Precisely. For 72 hours, you consciously and freely give away small bills, maybe dollar bills, $5 bills perhaps, with anonymous notes attached, sharing messages about the abundance of the universe and how much whoever finds it is loved.
So putting abundance out there physically.
Yes, creating that flow. Then you simply observe what comes back. Grout shares her own experience of leaving $5 bills around Chicago while writing the book, which coincided with her previous book, E Squared, suddenly surging to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. A pretty powerful example of energy circulating.
Wow, that's quite a return. Okay, what's the second method?
The second one is pennies from heaven. For 72 hours, you set the intention to find pennies everywhere on the ground, in pockets, in your car, wherever.
Just pennies.
Just pennies. But here's the key. Upon finding each penny, you privately celebrate it like you just won the lottery. For a penny.
Seriously. This seemingly absurd act, she explains, tricks the quantum field into bringing more abundance. Why? Because you're celebrating the reminder of abundance. The field, she suggests, doesn't differentiate between celebrating a massive windfall versus a small symbolic one. It just registers your joy and gratitude for abundance.
Okay, celebrating the small stuff to attract the big stuff. Interesting. We hear a story about a friend whose financial situation shifted dramatically after embracing these principles. Her father's unexpected favor led to her receiving a company credit card with like $7,500 on it, just for her to enjoy.
Nice. See, abundance can show up in unexpected ways.
And another incredibly compelling story is Barbel Moore, the German author of The Cosmic Ordering Service. She famously manifested her dream partner and even a castle.
After simply placing what she called a cosmic order, with the universe clearly writing down her desires and a desired delivery date.
These anecdotes beautifully illustrate Grout's central principle here. The quantum field wants to give you more of what you celebrate.
The more you express genuine joy and gratitude for what you have, even the smallest signs of abundance,
the more the universe reflects that back to you. It's like setting up this positive feedback loop of appreciation and manifestation.
that makes perfect sense. And if we are all truly connected energetically, as Grout suggests, does that mean even the people we find most challenging in our lives are part of our journey? And can this apply to how we interact with everyone, even strangers?
Yes, exactly. This brings us to the I'm loving and I know it corollary. Kind of a fun title.
Yeah.
The traditional meme or limiting belief here is often something like, it's me and you against the world, us versus them.
Right, that feeling of separation.
But Worldview 2.0 asserts something quite different. Being in love with everyone and everything brings me into alignment with the FP, that field of potentiality. Grout introduces the challenging yet profound idea that anyone you hold out of your heart through judgment or dislike is essentially a hologram you created to showcase a part of yourself, maybe a part you've abandoned or disowned.
So the annoying person is reflecting something in me.
That's the idea. When we judge others, we move out of alignment with that field of infinite potentiality and we inadvertently block our own good.
Okay, so how do we practice being in love with everyone?
She offers a couple of wonderfully impactful methods. One is to be a love bomber. Write anonymous love notes to the world on sticky notes and leave them in public places tucked into books at the library, attached to dollar bills you leave as Johnny Moneyseed, or maybe on subway posters. Just little messages of love and appreciation out into the world.
That sounds lovely, actually. Radiating love.
It is. The other method is maybe a bit harder for some. Appreciate the world's most annoying person.
We all have one, or maybe a few.
Right. The challenge is to actively look for things, anything, to appreciate about them, even if it's just one tiny thing. Or, if that's too hard, try picturing them as a young, innocent child before life piled stuff onto them. It's about consciously shifting your internal perspective towards compassion.
Gail Lynn Goodwin shared how her friend's daughter having a fever actually led to Gail having her best day ever due to a series of unexpected positive connections that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Wow, blessing in disguise.
And even more striking, there's the story of a Boston Marathon bombing survivor. He lost a leg, suffered severe injuries, horrific stuff.
It's terrible.
But during his rehabilitation, he found the love of his life. And he astonishingly states now that he's actually glad I got blown up. That seemingly tragic event ultimately led him to his future wife.
That's almost hard to comprehend, but incredibly powerful.
It is.
And these anecdotes powerfully reinforce a profound truth. Grout highlights throughout the book many things that at face value look like difficulties end up being miracles in disguise. She even says the cancer that we might believe isn't fair can be a pathway to truth. It's about radically shifting your perspective on every event, no matter how challenging it appears on the surface.
It's a huge mindset shift. It takes real conscious effort. Okay, so beyond relationships and finances, can this energetic perspective truly impact something as fundamental as our physical health? Can our beliefs literally heal our bodies?
Well, Grout certainly posits that they can. She states that reality is fluid and constantly changing, reflecting back my innermost beliefs. So our beliefs, whether they're rooted in conventional truth or not, stimulate materialization. This means if you deeply believe your body is destined to deteriorate in a certain way or heal in a certain way, that's the script that will often play out.
Okay, this brings us to the placebo corollary. This one contrasts the meme. Poor me, a separate, pitiful human being jostled around by an uncaring world.
The victim mentality.
Right. With Worldview 2.0, reality is fluid and constantly changing, reflecting back my innermost beliefs. It's about reclaiming agency over our own well-being.
Exactly. And Grout delves into the remarkable power of the placebo effect. We've all heard of it, right? Sugar pills that have been scientifically shown to heal ulcers, grow hair, even shrink tumors.
Just because people believe they're getting real medicine.
Precisely. Simply because the patient believed they were receiving powerful medicine. But she also highlights its nefarious evil twin, the nocebo effect.
Nocebo.
Yeah, where people report negative side effects from placebos or even experience mass hysteria from perceived threats purely because they expect harm. It's a powerful demonstration of mind over matter, for better or for worse.
Mind over matter. So how do we apply this positively? What's the experiment?
Okay, for this self-healing experiment, you pick a minor physical issue you'd like to alter. Something like recurring headaches, maybe trouble sleeping, annoying stomach growls, or perhaps a desire to lose a pound or two. Keep it manageable.
Okay, a minor issue.
Then you pour a glass of water, simple tap water, rub your hands together vigorously for a few seconds to generate some heat and energy.
Get the chi flowing.
Kind of. Then hold your hands over the glass for about 15 seconds, intending to infuse the water with healing energy, with your positive intention for that specific issue. Then you drink the water slowly, concentrating on its healing effects, quite literally pretending your doctor wrote it out as a powerful prescription. You repeat this ritual for 3 consecutive days.
So charging water with intention and belief.
That's the essence of it, harnessing the placebo effect consciously.
And there's compelling scientific evidence cited that backs up this mind-body connection Grout emphasizes, right?
Oh, definitely. There's a Harvard study, for instance, that showed hotel maids lost weight and improved their health markers, blood pressure, body fat just by believing their job was strenuous exercise, their actual activity level didn't change.
Just the belief changed their physiology.
And Elliot Crumb's milkshake study is fascinating too. It demonstrated how people's belief about the calorie count of a milkshake actually affected their hunger hormones, like ghrelin. If they thought it was high calorie, their body responded differently than if they thought it was low calorie, even though it was the same shake.
Belief changed hormones. Okay.
And then there's Ellen Langer's famous monastery study. Elderly men immersed themselves in a 1959 mindset. For a week, the music, the magazines, talking about events from that era in the present tense. And they actually became biologically younger with measurable improvements in eyesight, strength, flexibility, and even memory and intelligence scores.
That's incredible, just by changing their mindset.
And Ellen Langer's profound conclusion resonates deeply with Grout's principles. Wherever you put the mind, the body will follow. It's a powerful statement that challenges our assumptions about fixed biological destiny. Langer emphasizes that it's not the placebo that affects recovery, it's the mindset you adopt. You are, in essence, consciously making yourself better through focused belief and intention.
It's incredible to consider the power of our internal focus across all these areas. And finally, the book even touches briefly on connecting with nature, right, as another source of wisdom.
Yes, very briefly but importantly, Grout introduces the nature versus news corollary. The idea here is that there's a vibrating, pulsing field with mystical information available to us if we simply pay attention to nature, instead of constantly consuming the often fear-inducing noise of traditional media and news cycles.
Tuning out the noise, tuning into nature.
Precisely. She eloquently advocates tuning out the news and tuning in nature's divine broadcast. The action she suggests here is simple and, frankly, probably quite restorative for many of us. For 72 hours, substitute time you'd typically spend scrolling news feeds or watching the news with intentional walks in your neighborhood or a park.
Be outside and pay attention.
Yes. During these walks, you consciously open yourself to messages, maybe insights, feelings, symbols from plants, trees, animals, the clouds, whatever catches your attention. Grout shares intriguing anecdotes, like Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park, apparently spending weeks just talking to a cactus for inspiration, or the Skingwoi tribe of the Malaysian rainforest, who reportedly possess seemingly superhuman powers of knowing and tracking due to their profound attunement to their natural surroundings.
A deeper connection we've maybe lost.
Exactly. It suggests a deep intuitive connection is possible, one that many of us have perhaps lost touch with in the modern world, but one that Grout believes we can reclaim by simply shifting our attention.
Wow, what a journey this deep dive has been. I mean, from shifting our personal mindset to influencing our finances, our relationships, even our physical health. It's a lot to take in. But E-Cubed really seems to hammer home this truly empowering core message. You are not a helpless victim tossed around by an uncaring world. You are, in fact, a powerful co-creator of your reality.
That's the heart of it.
Your inherent worthiness is not at stake. It's a given. And life, in its pure, unadulterated form, is, as Grout beautifully puts it, miraculous and, quote, crazily in love with us.
I love that phrasing, and it's crucial to remember, as we've touched on, these aren't just woo-woo philosophies floating out there without grounding. As Grout emphasizes throughout the book, these concepts are, at their heart, supported by principles from quantum physics. It's not magic in the spooky sense, but maybe in the scientific sense.
Right, the magic of energy and potentiality.
Exactly. However, and this is key, consistent, deliberate practice is absolutely essential to embedding these new ways of thinking and actually experiencing life differently. It's not a one-and-done reading exercise. You have to do the experiments. As the famous text, A Course in Miracles wisely states, the way is not hard, but it is very different. It requires a deliberate, conscious effort to shift from those old, often fear-based paradigms to a mindset of joy, expansion, possibility, and abundance.
So knowing all this, knowing that your thoughts and intentions are constantly shaping your world, and that miracles, as Grout suggests, are simply waiting for your attention to bring them forth. What new belief or story will you choose to embody and explore, starting today? What experiment might you try?
We hope you're leaving with fresh insights and a spark of inspiration. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and check back for more episodes as we dive into new worlds of thought, one book at a time. Until then, keep your mind set in stone and your curiosity open. This has been a Big L Riz Media podcast, where big ideas meet lasting impressions.